Mm, It's crazy. Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. I'm standing, so you know what that means. Listen, we're talking to you guys about Marvel John Majors. He is filing a cross complaint against the assailant or the assaulter, Grace Jabari, and has filed a cross complaint about the fact that she actually is the one that assaulted him. Well, I kind of told you guys a little bit about this. I think last week when I did a video, I dropped it and saying he could be he's innocent. It seems like he's innocent based on the evidence. It seems like he's innocent, and now he's filing a counterclaim too as well because the evidence is in his direction. And look, it's looking a bit crazy right now, but we need to have a real conversation. Dr. Umar warned you guys of this. Snow bunnies out here. He warned you about the Caucasoids. He told you, black brothers, to stop playing around with these snow bunnies and Caucasoids. Y'all didn't want to listen. Now look where we at. Okay. Now the question is Marvel going to reinstate him if he wins this case? And his trial is also in August time, so we've got a few months to wait before then. But if he wins the case, will he be reinstated? And what kind of damage is it going to do to his career and his his chances in terms of getting new major roles? That's another question in itself. But let's have a little read of what the Insider says about this situation. So the Insider has obtained the NYPD complaint Jonathan Majors filed against assault accuser Grace Jabari. Majors swore in an affidavit. Oh my God, have the mercies of grace. Affidavit. The affidavit that a drunk and hysterical Jabari slapped and scratched him on the night they fought. Police found probable cause for an arrest, but the case was put on hold by prosecutors, sources told Insider. So Marvel's John Majors has filed an NYPD domestic violence complaint against his assault accuser and ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari, in which he alleges that she attacked him, not the other way around, during a March 25 dispute on China Street town. Now, what's interesting about this is obviously the last video that I did, I spoke about the witnesses that were there. There was the doorman, there was a cab driver, and then obviously the barman as well. And all three kind of corroborated his story that, listen, she wasn't hurt, she wasn't broken, she wasn't defeated, okay? And then the cab driver was like, yo, listen, I see her tearing up his jacket, blood. I see my girl pulling him like the hem of his garment, trying to get a miracle out of him, right? Back into the car. And the doorman talks about the fact that he and the doorman came up together to find the girl in his apartment, and she was out cold on the floor. Okay, so they've all corroborated his story, such it seems, right? But yeah, anyway, Majors remains charged in that dispute with Jabari alleging the Creed 3 and Marvel's Kang the Conqueror actor broke her finger, twisted her arm, and struck her in the ear, causing it to bleed. Majors has denied the accusations. An August 3rd trial date has been set in Jabari's case against Majors. But on June 21, the day after his last court date, Majors walked into the Chinatown precinct and gave police his own version of what actually happened that night, alleging that a drunk and hysterical Jabari scratched, slapped, and grabbed at his face, causing pain and bleeding, according to a domestic incident report and sworn affidavit obtained by Insider. A second NYPD precinct, that one that covers Major's penthouse, addresses in Manhattan's Chelsea neighborhood, is also involved in investigating the actor's counterclaims against Jabari, which insiders wrote about details last week. Both precincts found probable cause to arrest Jabari and issued what is called an incident card or an I-card, an electronic document that directs police to take Jabari into custody, at least for questioning, according to Major's defense attorney Priya Chaudhary and a law enforcement source. But Manhattan prosecutors who are pursuing the case against Majors were for some reason reluctant to turn the tables on Jabari, and at the district attorney's office urging the I-card was deactivated, the two said. Oh. The DA's office has repeatedly pushed back against investigating or charging Jabari, despite supporting evidence that includes surveillance camera footage of the street dispute and the photos of Major's injuries. Chaudhary told Insider for last week's story. Chaudhary shared some of that evidence with Insider for that story. Why did they write line twice? Okay. The DA office declined to comment, and the NYPD did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Jabari could not be reached by email or phone. Chaudhary declined to comment beyond confirming that the I-card was issued and deactivated. Majors 33 and Jabari 30, a London-based movement coach, worked together on the set of this year's Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. He's now dating actress Megan Good, who was at his side last week. Court's appearance in Manhattan Criminal court. Okay. All right. So in his domestic incident report, Majors alleges that Jabari had attacked him on prior occasions, though none was reported, including a verbal dispute in London that became physical, as his report to police describes it. NYPD detectives also asked Majors, who has a 10-year-old daughter from the past marriage. I did not know that. Did y'all know he had a 10-year-old daughter? I didn't know they. From a past marriage, a series of yes or no questions in prior history section of the domestic incident report. Police checked the yes box next to these questions. Is a suspect capable of killing you or your children? Is suspect violently and constantly jealous of you? And has the physical violence increased in frequency or severity over the past 6 months? So this is what NYPD detectives also asked Majors, who has a 10-year-old daughter from a past marriage, a series of yes or no questions. Okay, so that's what they asked as well. Okay. Majors has denied causing any injuries he was arrested over and has insisted through his lawyer that he is not violent to Jabari, who alleges became violent whilst accusing him of getting texts from another woman, who we now believe to be Megan Good. Because the speed of how Megan Good got involved tells me that you was the other woman. You had another woman. You had another woman in there, bro. Okay. All right. On the incident report, Major says he did pull away from Jabari as she grabbed for his face and coat and phone. At another point, he admits that when the fight spilled out into traffic, he hoisted her back into the chauffeured black Cadillac Escalade. I was worried she would be hurt by traffic, so I physically picked her up and put her in the car. The incident report reads, Majors describes his own injuries in the detail. In the morning, my face was stuck to the pillow because of blood from the cut from Jabari digging her thumbnail into my face. The incident report reads, Majors initially accused Jabari of running up his credit card without his authorization, returning to London with his iPhone, a Rolex, and a vintage watch, and other luxury items that cost $6,000, $7,000, according to this. Oh, she's a thief as well. Lo and behold, the Snow Bunny has become a thief as well. It's not like that her forefathers wouldn't have done this at all. No, her forefathers never do this stuff. There's no way that she could be a thief. You know what I mean? All right. Running up the credit card without authorization. Returning to London with his iPhone, a Rolex vintage watch, and other luxury items that cost $6,000 to $7,000. The actor is not due back in court on Jabari's case until August the 3rd. The fast rising star has scored major roles in this year's Creed 3 and Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania, in which he debuted as supervillain Kang the Conqueror. But after his arrest, the US Army pulled TV commercials in which had starred. Disney last month postponed his upcoming Marvel film, Avengers Kang Dynasty, from May 2025 to May 2026. Well, what can I say? You know, Dr. Umar warned you guys. Okay, he told you, listen, stop messing with these snow bunnies, and y'all we still going with these snow bunnies. Okay, all right. Now I'm planning on being a bit more facetious. I don't really mean that, but I kind of mean it, but I don't mean it. What I mean in the sense of you got to really be careful who you choose to be a partner, because your partner can easily become your enemy. Delilah Sampson had the exact same issue. Okay, and even before is that Spider's Web? Even before Delilah, he had another girlfriend who actually betrayed him too. So it wasn't the first time Samson had suffered betrayal at the hands of a woman. But your strength cannot be in your physical strength alone. You must have mental toxicity. You must be emotionally mature. You must be a man that is wise and have foresight. Don't let your pants lead you to places that you don't need to be in. Okay? All right? So Jonathan Majors, you've learned your lesson now. Stick with the sisters. Don't go with the snow bunnies, okay? Because there's a difference between us and them. And the reason I don't mean that in all sincerity, that these situations tend to play out in this way because we know our system is institutionally racist. That's just the reality of the situation. The law doesn't look at you the same. So when these situations come up, you don't even get a look in. That's why the situation is gone on the way it has. All right, so you'll learn your lesson now. Dr. Umar was right to tell you guys, these snow bunnies got to be careful. Okay, all right, appreciate you guys. Still up to it. It's all been a bit of a joke, a little bit as well, but be careful out in them streets, man. Them